Well, this was surprisingly way more popular than I thought. So here we are with another tier list. This time we're ranking the wall. So we have each of the faction walls in no specific order. I guess we're starting off with oh yeah, actually, you know what? Let's do it in a specific order, shall we? Okay, so the first campaign's wall. The wall that regrows itself, it was like 2 per turn. Again, there's an artifact that gives the wall the ability to regenerate faster and also stay on the field even after being completely destroyed. But because most of the walls don't really have artifacts, actually no, they do. Only I think 2 of them don't. But technically, yeah, actually only 1 of them doesn't. But I'm not gonna take that into consideration this time because I feel like walls are just kind of not the same as units, so I'm gonna leave the artifacts out of the equation. So, with that in mind, it regenerates itself and grows 2 health per turn to a total of, I think, 12 health at its max. It's pretty decent when you need to build walls, but you don't really have the resources, because you can just make 1 row of wall, and it just becomes the strongest possible row of wall in due time. I mean, the walls definitely is in the middle minimum. All the protection you need. I mean, kinda. It really fits that category because they grow themselves back if not completely destroyed. Honestly, as just thinking about the walls, that, as far as the quality of the wall goes, that's pretty good, that it grows itself and you don't really have to focus on it after making the first wall. So, yeah. And speaking of which, as far as walls go, has to be the best because it's just stronger than any of the other walls, and if it holds more power, it just has to be up there. It's a little bit harder to make, but as long as you're prepared to make a lot of it, then it definitely is way harder to go through than a lot of the other walls, even though it only has 2 more max power than all the other walls or protection or whatever you want to call it. But still, I'd put it up there, in my personal opinion. Then there's the skeleton 3rd campaign walls, the skulls and bones. I honestly don't think these are that great. I mean, I don't really like the ability that they have, which is that when your idle units die, then it forms more wall under them. I mean, it can be useful, but at the same time, it's not that good. So, I'm probably gonna put it in single ply. I don't think anything's gonna go in that wallant one, unless I decide to meme, but we'll see. Then the 4th campaign's walls, the fiery ember walls. Yeah, I mean, these are specifically with Aiden. These are completely broken, but considering, well, we're not considering what hero we're using. We might as well be using Jezebeth or Azexis, so we're not taking that spell into consideration yet. These are the weakest walls in the game normally, so they're only 10 health, but they do have the fire damage, which can be very useful, deal a lot of damage to the smaller units. But since it's not that good against the champion specifically, since it has that gimp, you know what? I'm gonna put it in single ply TP. Even though that's completely horrendous slander, I'm putting it there, and I'm moving the skeleton wall to Wallant. Just because why not? Because the ability is rather useless. I do not like it, so there's that. And then there's, I'd say that the last campaign's wall, just it walls a lot, very easily, very quickly, almost too quickly. And also, it's the only wall which has a negative ability, which is when enough of the walls get destroyed or damaged or whatever, then pretty much all of the walls get cut down in power. You know what? We're gonna do a bit of a moving. But, it's so easy to make them for defense, though. I can't move it below the fiery ember wall because it's good against champions, which is like the thing that usually kills you. Or usually, sometimes. Depends on the tactic. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. And it's a pretty nice spread. There's one in every category. And of course, none of these are horrendously bad. Like, they're just walls, and as long as you just make them, they do defend you and they do the job. So it's not like any of them are bad, but I'm just kind of memeing with the wallens and everything. So, you know, out of all of these, if I had to name the worst one, it's definitely this, because it's boring and kind of useless most of the time. So, you know, it is what it is. Not only that, but it's the only wall which can completely gimp you because, well, one of the spells, of course, being the staff, which shoots itself and deals 50 damage to anything it hits. Yeah, that is the only one that creates this railgun barrel straight to your hero, letting the staff, weirdly enough, hit your hero, dealing 50 damage. And that is very, very bad. So, with that, deserved last place, Wallant trash. Definitely gonna be making more tier list videos when I have the time. I'm currently also studying, so I'm kind of just balancing everything at the same time, so it might take a while, but I'm definitely gonna start working on it. And, well, I guess we'll see which tier list comes next. Some people have already been speculating and asking for specific tier lists about this game, and oh, don't worry, they're all coming. I am milking this till there is nothing left in this teat. But yeah, yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.